welcome back to the Comic Book ASM Artist. Today we're doing another comic haul, and if we have time we'll do a sound finale at the end. First off, we have Damage number 10. This is part of DC's Shiny Covers month. And I got caught up on most of my previous books, and I have to say that the last few Damage books I was really impressed. There was a lot of mayhem, and in one of them he was fighting some monsters, and he like ripped one of their legs and arms off and shoved like a missile down one of them's throat and all this stuff. And there was just really a more brutal level of action to it. And I've been following Aaron Lopresti, and he's been posting images of his work on the book, and I think he's on issue 16 right now. So I am surprised because I thought it was just going to go to 12 at the max. But I think this one is maybe selling well enough that they're continuing it, so pretty cool. I do recommend Damage right now. I don't know about this particular issue. Like I said, all this stuff here I haven't read yet. But I really enjoyed the last two issues, so. Next we have number 6 of the New Challengers, and this is the last issue in this series. But from the outset this was supposed to be just a 6-parter, so. And the action picked up in this one too. But still, compared to Damage and stuff, this one hasn't really moved me like those have. But, you know, I would hope that things would get a little crazier in this thing right here, since this is the last issue. At the beginning of this story, of the 6-issue series, this was just like a skeleton in a cave, like, and it still is now, but it was totally dead, and now that it's alive, and it's a big giant thing, too. See, you can see the scale of them there. I'm trying to remember exactly. I believe they were fighting other versions of themselves in the previous issues, if I remember. They were like battle-worn versions of themselves trying to go back and stop them from experiencing what they did, I think, or something along those lines. Next is Sideways number 9. Once again, it's one of these shiny ones. yeah, the most recent development here, basically Sideways went missing because his mom was getting all up in his business. And while he was refusing to answer his phone from her calling, she got killed that same day. So he holds himself guilty for not, answering his mom and all that, and having things be on those terms when she was killed. And at the time she was researching what was going on with him, she worked for a company that dealt with like secretive stuff, and they had files on her son, and she had discovered that he was Sideways and had powers, but right afterwards, pretty much she got killed. So, and it was by someone she had a past with. And so I believe now in the books, it's just his stepdad in him. And then you also find out that, I don't know if they revealed it in a earlier issue, but he is actually a foster kid. So one of the kids at school was being a jerk, and they're like, wait, well, at least it's not even your real mom. And then he just raged out on everyone, and he transported all these kids to some random place like a waterfall or something. And then he snapped them back, and they were all soaking wet and with water getting everywhere. And then he just went off the radar. So it's been really interesting. Sideways is one of my favorite ones. We got Turtles 87. And I think the main thing that's happening here, if I remember, is that Krang, basically this guy here, he's trying to undo the previous peace treaty that the Utroms had with the Triceratons, or with the Krang, or whatever you want to call them. And then Baxter is in the process of running for the mayor of the city, I believe. I'm forgetting some elements of the book right now too, though. Or rather this series, not this issue, but the big question on everyone's mind is, are the Turtles gonna end this series? Is it gonna end after issue 100? Because this book right now is the longest running ongoing Turtles series ever published. When they did the Archie ones, that was their previous biggest run, I believe, with all the mutanimals and all that stuff, which, of course, they're in here now, too. And I believe that one went to 70-something. I can't recall, though. But I'm still trying to go back and collect all of the older Turtle works, too. I'd like to have all the original Turtle stories. I'm a huge Turtles fan. They're a huge inspiration for me. Yeah. And meeting Eastman only helped cement that feeling in me. He was just so down to earth and approachable when I met him. So here we have Nightwing basically a chunk of his personality went with him. And so now he's kind of at the point of, as you've lived through a bullet going through your head, you're not as scared of anything. So he's like tougher and more carefree, I guess, which is funny because when he was Nightwing, he was cocky, but now he's like an enraged Fearless almost. He's very apathetic. But I believe they're trying to spin this now as even with all of that, his heroic tendencies are still bubbling to the surface. So even though he has this new persona now, his old persona is still pushing through and he still wants to fight crime. And I believe that they're saying that he is, he forgets how to do a lot of his, this is flashback stuff, I believe. He forgets how to do a lot of his hand-to-hand stuff, and he's relying more on his detective side. Yeah, this is how he is now. And he's still a good detective, but he's not a huge fighter, even though he's, in the previous issue, he stopped someone from killing a waitress at a restaurant. So he did that, but he's not doing like crazy hand-to-hand fighting, so his hand-to-hand skills are gone, but his detective abilities are good. And he wants to go by Rick now instead of Dick Grayson, so a little strange. But we'll see how it shapes up as it goes. I'm surprised that they did something so drastic in the Batman series, though, instead of in the Nightwing book. Because there was no lead up to it, it just happened. Which is fine. Comics sometimes do abrupt things like that, but I thought it was surprising that it had happened. Something that big happened to Nightwing outside of Nightwing's book. I would expect something like that in like a big event comic, not just a regular, another ongoing monthly book, you know, like Batman. But that's part of why I buy all of the main Bat books, you know, is so I can get the whole story when they do crazy things like this. Here's another shiny cover. This is Detective Comics number 990. And in it, Batman is obviously run back into Two-Face, which is cool to me. Two-Face is one of my favorite villains, based upon when I watched the animated series. I really don't like the random pink/red thing he's got going on, though. I think I'm so used to the black and white, you know. The only thing it does is makes you remember Batman forever, I feel. But yeah, I always welcome a good Two-Face story. A lot of action, looks really good. And then I got the variant cover, because it just looked so cool. The gargoyles and everything, it reminds me of a lot of Simone Bianchi's work. And then, yeah, by default I start opening it. It's the same book, though. The next one is Batman number 57. And the media was already nice enough to spoil the big thing that happens in this book. I won't spoil it here, but Batman does something really brutal. But this guy right here is the one who shot Nightwing in the head. He sniped him, so Batman did his detective work and led him here. And then he just killed his dad in the previous issue. So I don't know what the fairy tale thing is. I'm sure there's significance here. But if you can't tell, this is the KG Beast. So him and Batman have had a huge past for sure. And Batman has been pretty savage to him in the past too. And even the thing before, like, his dad was like, "How did you lose your hand?" And he's like, "Oh, well, I had to cut it off to escape." And he's like, "And the guy who did this to you still has both of his. You're weak." And, you know, that was more or less the last important thing that the dad said to him. And he's like, "Well, I killed his son," pertaining to Nightwing, you know. He's like, "Yeah, that's good, but he still has two hands." He's like, it's my own fault. I made you weak and this and that." So we have Superman number 4, another shiny one. Everyone is still in the Phantom Zone, and he's pretty much gathered an army to annihilate Superman here. Then I got 2 copies of Peter Parker's Spectacular Spider-Man 310. This is Chip Zdarsky's last issue he's done in the series. In this one, he 100% did himself, you know, with the exception of inserting text bubbles and stuff. But he did the writing and drawing. So this has been like a lifelong dream and goal for him. So, and I've heard really good things about it, but the main thing, the reason why I got 2 of them, he's gonna be at the Emerald City Comic-Con next year. And so because of that, I'm gonna get 2 signed. One for me and one to throw in the giveaway for when we do have 1,000 subscribers. So, that's why. And I know Alex Maleev is also going to be there. He's one of my favorite artists who worked on Daredevil, modern Daredevil. And so I need to find some things by him to get signed to. One for you all and one for me. And I did just buy my Saturday pass. They just went on sale on Wednesday, I believe. And 4 days sold out like 15 minutes. But the Saturdays were soon as I got paid on Friday morning. So I didn't get any other days yet, but Saturday's the main one you want because that's when everything happens, and it's super crowded. Like I say, whenever you're getting signatures, you definitely want to just fly in and get them on Thursday. Do all your heavy lifting on that day. And then just kind of take the other days to see panels and do other fun stuff, so that's what I like to do anyway. It doesn't happen till March though, but it's so weird to think about it, really. It's something that stays in my forefront like 6 months out of the year, which is pretty bizarre. I mean, the last one was in March, and here it is October. That's not that long from each other. And it's like, oh, we gotta start thinking about the con. It's just weird. So that's all the books that I got from my local shop. Now I want to show off some of my half-price finds that I got the previous week. This was just a random Detective Comics I found. They had a pretty good run of these too. I should have gotten more of them. Well, the other ones were like almost $2 or $3 or something. This was just 50 cents. But this is a cool story featuring the demon. So I might do a reading of this around Halloween time. I have a couple books I'm kicking around doing, possibly for Halloween special. But we'll see what happens. I don't know if I'll do another candy eating video for that or not. Last year I did one to images of Bernie Wrightson's Frankenstein, I believe. So you can check that out if you're interested. Next we have this random 3D Superman comic, and I believe this was originally packaged with whenever they had the special where the red Superman split into or the blue Superman split and had a red Superman too, the electric ones, and they had the 3D cover, and this was a pack-in with that, I believe. So, and my kid absolutely loves 3D stuff like this. So anytime I see something like this, I jump at the chance to get it for him. As I've always been impressed by it too. Even though with this one they look more like cardboard cutouts, but it's still dimensional, so it's pretty cool. I got this random Superman War of the Worlds book, and I didn't even know this was a thing. This is by Michael Lark, so I might do a reading of this on the channel. It's what if Superman was around in the War of the Worlds, so pretty neat. this are just 50 cents too. All those books were just 50 cents. Then this book right here was a book I kickstarted a little over a year ago. And it's by the people who used to do the Superboy book in the 90s I loved so much. So, and it's pretty much like a task force made up of all these mythological type characters. Like urban legends, I guess. We're not talking unicorns here, but, you know, like aliens and, I'm blank, like sea creatures, like the creature from the Black Lagoon type thing. And you got a fly here. And what's fun is this little book plate here. When this came to me, I wasn't home. And, my wife opened the box because it was labeled really weird. The box actually said it was Cards Against Humanity. So she opened it and she's like, oh, there's a book in here. And she pulled the book out and just put the packaging in the garbage. And I was looking through the book just briefly and I was like, wait, this needs to be, there's no signatures in here, what the heck? Which that was a big part for me. I really wanted these guys' signatures. Even though I already met Carl Kessel last year. So yeah, I was like, there wasn't anything else in the box. She's like, well, there was something that just had like the same, she said it looked exactly the same as this, like to her, it just looked like an insert, like an ad for the book or whatever. I'm just like, well, where is that? She's like, oh, well, it was just an ad or something, so it just went out with everything else. So I dug through, and in the recycle bin, I was lucky there wasn't any food, gunk, or anything on it. This was in here, so this is what they call a book plate. It's really just a fancy word for a sticker. So that way, I guess they can mail them from one person to the other easily, maybe, and if they can't both be in the same place. So they both signed the sticker, and then they packed it in, and then if you want, you peel the sticker off and slap it in your book. So, but this almost didn't find its way in here, because like I said, it was in the recycle bin. So I'm glad that I was so observant and, you know, asked all those questions, rather than be like, oh well, they didn't sign it. But what's weird is this is supposed to be numbered as well. And there's no number on it, but there's supposed to be a different book plate for if you try to buy the book now. I believe you can just go to sectionzero.com, and then you can find me in the list of contributors right there. I am. But yeah, the main thing, if you like the old Superboy books from the 90s or other stuff Tom Grumman and Carl Kessel have worked on, this is for you. But I'm not going to show the whole book. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. But I believe it's $30 or something like that. You can find it at sectionzerocomic.com, I believe. But then in the back they have these nice artist character pieces that were done by various artists. Jerry Ordway, Dave Gibbons, Kelly Jones there. Terry Dodson, that's one of the signatures too, by the way. Walter Simonson. And then it's got just random blurb pieces in here. Concepts. And they're gonna try to continue the story too. And what's crazy is this almost didn't even get made. It was like maybe 4 hours before the event was over, and they were still several thousand under. And this literally like got funded by the skin of its teeth. So I was glad to be a part of the project and be caught up in the drama of seeing if it was gonna make it or not. So pretty cool, and I'm glad it did. But they were ready to do a round 2 and raise more awareness for it. But I believe it was Tom Grummett. He was all set. He had like a calendar he had made up for like round 2 of promos and stuff like that. And then literally that last little bit, the funds came in and they were freaking out. So pretty nice. Last items I want to show off here. I went to the Funko HQ and I got this nice Batman animated shirt. And it was actually $15. If you go on their site, you can buy it for $20. And I got a Captain America one that I'm wearing right now too. And then it was my wife's birthday on Thursday, so I got her a nice little Joey Tribbiani pop. She loves Friends. Here's all the other ones. I'll probably get the other ones too, but these are still kind of common here. So the main thing I got her. They had the Harry Potter Advent Calendar, and these are gonna be really rare, and there was like maybe 4 on the shelf. I don't even know if you can like purchase, you can pre-order these on some sites right now, but I have it in hand before there are people who order pre-orders even have theirs yet. But this is just $50, and you get 24 little miniatures. There's little doors, and you pull the figure out, and then there's a little diorama here. So if you like Harry Potter and Funkos, then this is for you. So now I'm gonna turn the mic around and do some sounds for you all. If you're not into that, thank you so much for being here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Have a good day or a night. Thanks.